Well, March marks the beginning of Women's History Month, and at NewsNation, we're celebrating women who are trailblazers and trendsetters. And today, we're shining a light on JillLaflin, the first and only female NBA scout, by the way. And Jill's resume is remarkable. She's the first woman to ever dance for 3 professional sports teams. You got the Golden State Warriors, San Francisco 49ers, and the Dallas Cowboys. She earned 5 NBA Finals rings during her time with the Lakers and a Super Bowl ring with the Niners. She's also the former Miss Dallas Fort Worth, USA. I mean, hello, what has she not done? In honor of Women's History Month, we now honor and welcome in JillLaflin. She's also a broadcast sports journalist, philanthropist, and author. Jill, welcome to the show. My gosh, the accolades are just never ending.
What an intro. Thank you so much, Markie, for having me this morning.
I mean, you're such a force, such a trailblazer. Did you intentionally set out to be this powerhouse of a woman?
I think so. I kind of came out of the womb wanting to conquer the world. My parents always said that I just was one of those go-getters that wanted to do everything, and you only live once, and so I'm just, trying to make sure that I pursue what makes me happy, my passions, and also giving back with my philanthropy work. That's really important as well.
Yeah, it's just so impressive. And as I mentioned off the top, you're the first and only female NBA scout. Take us back to the beginning for you, to the Los Angeles Lakers, who first noticed you, and if accomplishing that was always on your career bucket list as well.
Yeah, it was just something. I was covering the Lakers at the time, and I was able to break down the triangle offense, which people know Phil Jackson's offense, which is really hard to comprehend. Even the players had some hard times with it. And Dr. Jerry Buss, the late Dr. Jerry Buss, who was the owner of the Lakers, saw that I had this, skill, this talent to find talent, find players. And so he brought me on board alongside his daughter, Jeannie Buss, as well as the head coach, Phil Jackson, and our GM, Mitch Kupchak. And they wanted to see how my scouting reports were. So they kind of tried me out for a year, not getting paid. And then from there, I got a 5-year contract and another 5-year contract scouting talent in college.
Yeah, and look at all of these pictures from the past. I know, it just must take you back in a heartbeat. Yeah, and then you went on to recruit for the Lakers for, what, 13 years? Who are some of the big names that you brought to the team that we would know?
Yes, well, I guess there's so many guys that I was able to scout, and we were scouting overseas and scouting in. But Jordan Farmar was one of my faves. He was my feather in my hat. He had been a local talent in high school at Taft High School, and then went on to UCLA. And he was a great, great basketball IQ, high basketball IQ. Could run the point really well. Could shoot. Could do everything. And we brought him on, and he ended up winning some rings as well. So it was a great match.
Yeah, it's just too cool, the whole story. I imagine that, though, breaking into the industry and getting here was not without its hurdles. What have been the biggest obstacles for you, and what do you still face to this day in such a male-dominated profession?
Yeah, that's a great question, Markie, because I think a lot of it still is that you're a female in a man's world. So trying to overcome that and the scrutiny that comes along with that, you're always under a microscope. So I always say there's no room, there's no margin for error. We always have to be perfect. There always has to be perfection, which can be very challenging and get a little stressful at times. But I think I thrive on stress in a weird way. So I think for me, it's just to always, persevere, to have resiliency, tenacity, not to give up. And when people try to prove me wrong, I try to let them know that I'm here to stay, and my knowledge and credibility, goes a long way, but it is something that continuously female in sports have to try to overcome.
Yeah. Which female trailblazers inspired you? Like, who did you look to and say, man, she's the girl, I want to be like her and follow in her footsteps? Who was it for you?
Well, there's so many, but in my book, I had Billie Jean King and Jackie Joyner-Kersee and Danica Patrick and so many. Jane Kennedy was one of my favorites because a lot of our career was very parallel. She was a beauty queen, she was a model, she was a dancer, and so forth. And so for her, having to go through the same type of struggles of just being known for maybe her appearance and not her brains. And so me and her really got along in that regard, because we knew that we had to even push even more, because it was tough to be able to be for people to take you seriously at some point. And so it was big struggle with that. And as I get comfortable and as I get older, it's like I get more comfortable in my own skin. At the time, Markie, was more just trying to fit in, trying to almost act like a boy, dress like a boy, put my hair up in a hat so my hair wouldn't be down, just different things, because you just want to be accepted, if that makes sense.
And
then
you're trying to fill a box of cookies. We have the same thing in my profession. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.